Instagram and Facebook and all other digital tools you are using every day. So it is about engaging Generation Z. These are the cohorts we are using of the different generations. So the baby boomers are the ones that were born between 46 and 64. Your parents will probably, or in the baby boomers generation or in Generation X, think of it, they are born between 65 and 1980. Those are mostly the two generations that are the parents of you, Generation Z. In between we have Generation Y, we call them the millennials. And after you, after Generation Z, you have the next generation. That's called Generation Alpha. Those are the ones that are digital natives. They don't have any knowledge of other non-digital device. So these generations are, yes, they are now working all together in the same atmosphere, in the same labor market, and that gives challenges. Generation Z wants to go forward. Go, 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 go. They are impatient. They are ambitious. They want to go ahead, etc., etc. Generation X says, oh, whoa, 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 not too fast. Think it through. Make a plan. First plan, then start. Generation Z says, no, 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 start, start, start. I want to start. I have had this guest lecture today of a Belgian lady, and she says, it's up to you, we have to start. Now, now, now. But the thing is, these different generations, they all have their strengths. They all have their weaknesses. And the most amazing thing happens when they all work together and they all learn from each other and respect each other. So that is why I put this slide here, because the weakness of the older generations are the skills in digital tools, and but they are more patient and they go more into depth. So you as a youngster must understand that. You have to be patient with the older generations and learn them and give them explanation on why something happens this or so. Because that's what the older organizations want to know. Why? Okay? Is Generation Z more entrepreneurial? Let's have a look on what your thoughts are on this one. Do you think youngsters are more entrepreneurial than older generations you have just seen? We have done research with our Generation Z lab. I have a Generation Z lab in Belgium. And we have done research on the perception of Generation Z by older generations. So we have done a survey, and 1,500 people older than 30 years filled it in and gave them their opinion about you, youngsters. So I will share the results immediately after this slide. So I guess we have already some idea of the answer. Most of you think Generation Z is more entrepreneurial. Well, our research showed that 40% of the 30-year-olds thought Generation Z is more entrepreneurial. That's not above half, so you didn't pass. So 60% of generations older than 30 don't think Generation Z is more entrepreneurial. So you have to start with your personal branding if you want to prove the opposite. In my opinion, I think Generation Z is more entrepreneurial. When I think of myself ages ago, when I was a Generation Zer, I was not that entrepreneurial. I just went to school, I studied, I went out a lot, I graduated, and I got my degree. Of course, our labor market is different than here. We get job offerings during our last year. So we are very spoiled, and we don't realize it. Afterwards, when I was graduated and I started working, and I wasn't very happy. I thought, is this the real world? But how this story ends is in another slide. So older generations, they want to learn from them. They want to learn from you. Older generations say of you that you are better in multitasking. Is that correct? Yes? You are good in multitasking? Okay. So how many tasks can you do at the same time? 3 to 4? What is multi? Okay. And how many tasks of all these tasks you are doing at the same time are done properly? So, but anyhow, you have the perception or the reputation to be better in multitasking, and I agree. Your mind is still very much awake, and it is possible to do it. You are eager to learn. You are too much consumed by your smartphone. That's all the generations say. You are stuck with a smartphone in your hand. And I see that some of you have that problem at the moment. So you are too much consumed by social media. You can be on your smartphone if you share the ideas that you are hearing at this moment now with others. That's no problem. You are way more empowered, and you are not afraid to speak up for yourself. And older generations, they have problems with that, when you speak up for yourself. So just to let you know that you do it in the right way. But older generations enjoy working with you because they learn a lot from you. So make your own path. If you can't do great things, do small things in a great way. Entrepreneurship is neither a science nor an art, it is a practice. A theoretical course on entrepreneurship? Yes, okay, but you need to practice it as well. Otherwise, it's just a course you have studied. So make your own path. If university gives you the theoretical framework of entrepreneurship, make then the decision to practice it on your own. But not everyone needs to be an entrepreneur. There's also something like intrapreneurship, being entrepreneurial, like I told you already. How do we try to stimulate entrepreneurship during our curriculum in HOWEST? And actually, I'm not talking about HOWEST alone. All of the universities in Belgium are doing this. Entrepreneurship is key, especially in Belgium, because we don't have a lot of agriculture and industry, so we have to do it in a different way. We have to be entrepreneurial. So during semester 1, apart from the workshop they have to follow on the postponing behavior problem, they also have to describe business processes of an entrepreneurial company. That's a task they receive. They describe business processes of an entrepreneurial company. During semester 2, they set up a fair. That's with 200 students. It's a huge fair, and different teams make a stand on the fair where they explain how business will look like in 2030. So they have to describe, for instance, artificial intelligence, what it will do with businesses in 2030, so 7 years from now. That's what they do in semester 2. In semester 3, they have to brainstorm about a solution to a problem, and they have to make a fictitious business idea about it. Just an idea. That's semester 2. In semester 4, they have to set up a lean business plan. Not a big paper with data and all that and lots of market research, no. It's a lean business plan where they develop a minimum viable product, they test it in the market, they iterate it, they test it again, so that at the end of the semester they have a minimum viable product. That's semester 4. Semester 5, they do traineeships 1 day in a week in a company, and in semester 6 they do traineeship the whole semester. And then they graduated. That's how we try to stimulate entrepreneurship. We are very keen on the design thinking method. Who knows it? Design thinking method? Okay, all right. Next time when I'm here, I'll be happy to give you a workshop on this method. It's an iteration of phases on how to get to a solution of a problem. And it's not only to invent new products, it's been used for lots of problems, or procedures or processes. You learn how to use a helicopter view by using this business model canvas. I think this is familiar. Business model canvas, the worldwide model. We start already in secondary schools with the business model canvas, so that they really get to know it very well. The go-to-market plan. We do this in a fictitious way, of course. Not every product can be entered into the market. You need capital, you need a factory to make your product, but we try to learn them how to enter the market by a fictitious product, a fictitious idea. The supply chain management and the sales and marketing, those are two sectors who are really changing rapidly. In my opinion, very interesting sectors. You will always have a job if you are specialized in those two sectors. The digital train, don't miss it. Don't miss the digital train. It's only becoming longer and longer, and the train will only go faster and faster. So make sure you're on it. And then I have brought two friends. I have brought Valentin with me, that's the left guy, and I have brought Michiel with me. Those were two of my students. And they went through all the 6 semesters I just told you. You can do it easily, just passing and graduating. But those two, they said, well, I can work very well with a computer. And during the first semester, they didn't know each other. And they had this assignment in the first semester, and they were the only two that were left over in the classroom, because they had to do the assignment by 2. And I said, yeah, well, do you want to do it with me? Oh, yeah, I want to do it with you. Okay. What's your name? Michiel. What's your name? Valentine. Okay, nice to meet you. And that's where their journey began. And they noticed that they were both very fond of computers. And they started a very small company, very, very small, making websites. So during semester 2 and 3, they made websites besides their studies. And in semester 5 and 6, they got the opportunity to work on the campus in the incubation center on their company. And then they earned some money with it, they learned a lot by it. And do you know what happened afterwards? When they graduated, they stopped their company. They just stopped because they learned enough. Valentine, he wanted to become a judge, so he started his master in law at VUB, by the way. And Michiel, he was a straight A student, he got job offers, enough, well paid, thanks to this company he set up. So this is also a quote I would like to share with you. And I give this quote in the beginning of my based courses.